Welcome to Baz Travels. After driving 14,826 kilometers through 24 states and Washington, D.C., I've seen rocket launches to the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. I've explored Route 66, ghost towns, deserts, snow, and beaches on both coasts. From Vegas casinos to Alcatraz, the White House to Hollywood. Join me for a journey of the ordinary and the extraordinary.
Loading destination. Simulation starting in 3, 2, 1. To look around, move your phone or tablet. Click and drag if on a computer or move your head if using a VR headset. Please like and subscribe.
Walking from the arch towards the Old Courthouse, the shift in time becomes clear even though the distance is short. Behind you stands a stainless steel monument completed in 1965, representing 20th century ambition through engineering. Ahead rises a domed courthouse, completed in the 19th century, tied directly to some of the most consequential legal battles in American history. The physical space between them is small, yet it bridges generations of conflict, expansion, and constitutional debate. The old courthouse was constructed between 1839 and 1843, replacing earlier structures that could no longer handle the city's growth. Its central dome, added in the 1860s and inspired by the United States Capitol in Washington, reinforced the building's civic presence at the time when St. Louis was expanding rapidly as a river city. Greek revival and classical design elements were chosen deliberately, signaling authority, permanence, and institutional order in a frontier region that was still defining itself. The courthouse is best known as the site of the Dred trials in 1847 and 1850. Dred Scott, an enslaved man, sued for his freedom after living in free territories with his owner, arguing that residence on free soil should grant him liberty. The Missouri court ultimately ruled against him, and the case advanced to the United States Supreme Court in 1857. The court's decision denied Scott's freedom and declared that African Americans could not be considered citizens under the Constitution, intensifying sectional tension and contributing directly to the climate that led to the Civil War. Standing outside the courtroom today, that history feels concentrated rather than distant. The ground beneath this dome once hosted arguments about citizenship, federal power, and human rights long before those issues were resolved through war and constitutional amendment. The building carries weight not only because of its age, but because of the legal precedent shaped within its walls. Architecturally, the courthouse relies on symmetry and elevation to communicate authority. The dome rises above a balanced facade, creating a focal point visible from multiple approaches. Tall windows and thick masonry walls reinforce solidity, while formal entrances establish hierarchy without excessive ornament. In contrast to the arch's abstract curve, the courthouse communicates through classical proportion and grounded mass. During the 19th century, this building also functioned as the center of the regional law administration, while steamboats docked nearby along the Mississippi River. Property disputes, commercial claims, and criminal proceedings unfolded here as St. Louis grew into a commercial hub. The courthouse stood at the intersection of commerce and governance, reinforcing the city's importance beyond its riverfront. As newer judicial facilities were constructed in the 20th century, the old courthouse transitioned away from daily legal use and into preservation. Its integration into what is now Gateway Arch National Park ensures that the legal struggles argued here remain physically connected to the modern monument only steps away. The proximity creates a layered experience in which expansion and legal conflict occupy the same landscape. Walking between the arch and the old courthouse places two visions of America in direct conversation. One rises in stainless steel to symbolize territorial growth and national ambition, while the other stands in brick and stone to represent contested law and constitutional struggle. Together they frame St. Louis not only as a gateway to the West, but as a setting where debates about freedom and citizenship shape the country's direction.
Simulation terminated. Please comment, like and subscribe.